Again, I'm not gonna have you reenact the whole thing, but as far as you want to take it, the day of this happening,
The first time,
the first time, what can you walk us through as far as what happened? Like, how did you not see it coming? If you don't mind me asking.
Because we were just kind of like,
What? Okay, so
I know what I know the question. I know the question. Because again, I had already been hanging out with him most of the day in, day out, sitting in the cell, talking, rapping. I think we had started drinking a little bit because they had hooch.
The hooch.
So,
Yeah, hooch. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to drink a little bit, had a little hooch. In his cell, because he had a cell by himself, got to use the bathroom, and once I started using the bathroom, we just came up behind me and just grabbed me and put me on the bed. And
so let me ask. Yeah, let me ask. Yeah, because he's like you say, he was a country bumpkin type dude. Are you physically trying to fight this off? Because again, from you're 21 years old, you're 150.
About as much as I could, be honest with you. It ain't like I just say, oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and do it. No, I tussle a little bit about as much as I could, but again, because how he caught me off guard, coming behind me, and he was a bigger guy, just...
So, mind you, and this is all hindsight now, he'd been plotting this, or at least just, let's say he didn't plot it, but he'd been testing you, and then he got you to this point. Do you feel at the moment that, like, what do you feel was going through his head? Like, oh, I've been waiting to do this, or this is just in the moment. This is just what it is, man. Like, do you go through? Because mind you, we're gonna get to it, but you were probably trying to get commission to do some harm back to this man.
Yeah,
but do you feel like he was like, this man? I let. Do you feel guilt? Be like, man, I led this dude into this situation to make this happen. Do you feel like any of that was your fault, or you feel like, man, he just really took advantage, and I need to do some harm to this man?
I felt like he took advantage all the way up until I need to do some harm, because after everything was over with, I just kind of wanted to everything just be over with.
It'd be over.
Then I was hoping he didn't tell nobody. I was hoping nothing ever came out of it. I just stopped hanging around him, but I don't really know how everybody started finding out, but I think the only other way was he could have said, oh yeah, I fucked him. And it was always, how you say, my story against his story. So because it was my story against his story, the only way everybody felt like it was able to be settled was got to do something to him. So it was either you do something to him or we do something to you.
So yeah, this is the side of prison that we as civilians who have never been to prison don't get to hear about. And this is the side that you also don't get to hear in music and all of this other stuff. Now, we do understand that they do these sort of stuff in prison and stuff like that, especially if you've seen the Boondock episode of like the Booty Warriors and stuff, and where he says like booty is more important than food and all of these things. Now, I understand that was a comedy, but truth of the matter is it's real. Why? Because men have a desire. Men want to release these desires, and if there's no females around, the only way is themselves. And of course, they're going to try to attack the most vulnerable person that they can get to. And so based off of the title of the video, which is Being Too Friendly in Prison Cost Him His Manhood, again, they want to go for the easiest person that they can finally get their hands on. And that is somebody whom they just keep tracking this person constantly. So to all those people out there who think that they are tough and they want to be the bad guys, they feel like going to prison is going to gain them the respect and yada, yada, yada. Just understand that if you go to prison, and if you don't understand the environment, you're going to run into people who have not, I guess you can say they haven't popped their, I wouldn't say pop, they haven't busted in years. And these men are just walking and trying to find an easy target. And if you're new to prison and have no idea about the rule, just understand that you are an easy target.
Let a lot of you women know, you better put some of your men under investigation when they come out the joint. Because when I was in there, I only can speak for my city. Other city, we know what they do, like playing like DC and all them places. They go hard with the boys. Now, when your homie come home, the dude you talking about you want to be with, you better make sure you put him under investigation. Because a lot of your men and the dudes you're in love with, they was going hard with boys in prison. You know, they had a lot of fun with them, and they had a lot of fun with them. So you got to be careful and mindful. Do you want to put yourself in that situation without putting some of these guys under investigation? Because one thing about these streets in their neighborhood, they speak a lot. And a lot of guys was in joint with each other. They know which one was in there messing with boys. So be careful, lady. Make sure you investigate your man when it come down with his sexual orientation when he was inside them prison walls. Peace.
So, yeah, I mean, you got to understand that having sexual intercourse with the same gender especially, there tends to be a lot of diseases that get spread around. And some of these men have been in prison for years, and they've been doing this constantly. So that man's right. To the girls out there whose man goes to the joint for a year or two or so, I don't know exactly how long your man's been in there, you might want to put this man through the test before you decide to let him clap, because who knows what he's carrying from prison. They're not free from disease either. Man. So for the ladies out there, be careful, all right? Just understand that, you know, a lot of those men that come from prison have been compromised. Let's get to the next clip.
I'd been incarcerated with had been manipulated into changing his sexual orientation, and it happened in the way you would least expect it. I was out in the dorm playing poker, and boom, the doors pop, and a new guy walks in. Now, in this particular dorm, there was a ritual. Some guy, when a new guy walked in, would scream out, "Hey, that's the guy who stole my lawnmower." This guy had already had the deer in the headlights, "I can't believe I'm in here" type look on him, but as soon as he heard that, all bravado went out the window. 20 seconds after coming in the dorm, the sharks are already on him, and what they're doing to him now is what I like to call soft extortion. Soft extortion is where you befriend them, try to rizz them up, and then see what you can get them to do for you. For instance, "Hey man, will you spray this while we smoke? Hey man, can I borrow a soup?" etc., etc. And when I say this poor guy didn't stand a chance, I mean, man, he was cooked. Now, before I get a comment like, "Drake, why didn't you help him?" You can't help these guys. Your life depends on it. Now, with that being said, if I'd known this guy from a previous encounter or maybe out in the world, I'd have put him up on game, but I didn't. So as the days and weeks progressed, this guy evolved from do boy to sex boy. Now, I'm not going to say he deserved it, but I'm not going to lie and say he didn't, because what he did to accelerate this progression was completely on him. So one day, this man sits down at the poker table, and they're like, "You know how to play?" He's like, "Yeah, I need credit." You see, when you're incarcerated, you're bored to death. There's not much to do. You can either gamble, join a gang, or engage in homosexual activity. I chose to gamble. I'm at the poker table, I'm gambling, and I remember it like yesterday. I mean, I was getting popped that day. I mean, my skull was getting pushed back to the white meat. So this man sits down, and he gets like 20 bucks in credit, and they're like, "Yeah, when are you gonna hit?" He's like, "Oh man, my money coming Friday, my girlfriend will shoot it to me." It wasn't an entire hour later that this man is completely out of money. They ate him up out there. I mean, he didn't know how to play at all. He goes, "That's fine, give me another 20. Like, okay, so now this dude's at 40. This dude ends up playing all day and gets down 200. Now, 9 out of 10 times when this happens, the guy will usually check out of the dorm, but I don't think this guy was seasoned enough to even know that was a thing. I mean, he was green. Now, the store day where he promised to pay the money had done came and went like twice. And the particular affiliation that was running the poker table pushes up on him in his cell. They push up on him, they're like, "Hey, my boy, da-da-da, like, you're gonna pay us." And he's like, "Oh, man, my girl broke bad on me, whoop-de-woo." And they're like, "What's that got to do with us?" Before they beat him up pretty good, they tried to see exactly how far he would go. So they had this man washing their underwear, cooking food for him, shaving off his eyebrows. I mean, they had him doing everything. Now, this is the part of the story where the sexual immorality begins to start. This man got broomsticked pretty good. And if you don't know what broomsticked is, use your imagination. You're putting a broom where it's not supposed to go. They were really being gentle with him because they didn't break it off inside of him, but that's where the door starts to open for the other activities. So within a month and a half, this guy goes from a normal guy to using the coloring off M&Ms for eyeshadow, tying up his shirt to appear that he had breasts. So there's about a million things he could have done differently to prevent this from happening, but I guess the top few is don't gamble and say no.
That's so in just a span of a month. So, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and just continue on.
My life, from the age of 20 to 27. One day, go through the pictures and put a name with them, and it was kind of bad. The total of people. And these are the guys that come home to their wives and their families, and No, I never messed around. I didn't play that. This picture here is a picture of Duro. Just believe it or not, I just ran into him a couple weeks ago. He was with his wife and kids. So that goes to show you DL lifestyles. This is Willis. I don't know why I was attracted to guys doing life. I guess the one that really stands out to me or is really a memory to me is a young man named Kevin. We were together 2 years.
Now, one thing that I want to ask is, how is taking the dick in the South Side gets you to sound so soft and feminine? I really don't understand that. You know what I mean? I get the fact that you like it. I understand the fact that you've embraced your new life in prison, but what causes you to now, make your voice sounds a little bit smoother, and like the previous video says, you start putting on, clothes in your shirt to make it seem like you have breasts. How hard is it just to, I don't know, find a man that's gonna go ahead and give it to you on the South Side? And so it doesn't really make sense to me how they go from being masculine when they go to prison on day one to all of a sudden feminine on, I guess you can say, a month later or 2 or 3 months later or a few years later. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But hey, all in all, this is what prison can do to you. So to those of you out there, the YNs, all these other dudes who want to be the tough guys and stuff like that, just understand that if you go to prison, especially if you're green and you go to prison, yeah, they're going to try to take advantage of you if you don't know the game. I mean, how hard is it just to stay out of trouble? Get a job, take care of your family, and stay out of trouble. I guess you can say it might not be that hard because you may end up being at the wrong place, the wrong time that can cause you to go to prison and whatnot. But that's a whole different story. But what's the likelihood of that happening? Very, very unlikely. So be careful, man. Don't listen to these rappers. Don't watch these movies where they make prison seem like it's the best place in the world where, you can be a crime boss and run the prison and all of these things. Guess what? Like the video just said, 90% of the inmates that go to prison are on the DL, meaning down low. And if you don't know on what that is they're gay. They just don't talk about it. This is what goes on in prison. You got men out there who have sexual desire and they need to release these desires. They don't have a women. So who they gonna go for? The little niggas out there who think that they were tough. You're the number one suspect that they're gonna go for. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today.